The way that they have cherries now are bleached and then pumped full of saline and then to plump them back up again.
That sounds delicious.
and then plumped again of like red dye and bubblegum flavor and all that kind of stuff. It's not legit. These are legit.
Okay.
All right. So I'll do mine. You'll do yours. Grab your jigger here.
Okay.
All right. We're going to do 2 ounces of rye.
2 ounces of rye.
This is 1.5 ounces on this side.
Okay.
Okay. So if I go like this to right up there is 1 ounce.
Okay.
And dump that in, and then again, that makes 2.
All right. Yeah, I've always wondered that with jigger. I don't always measure. I usually eye everything, but it's good to know that just about there.
Yeah. Measuring is crucial, especially in a small drink like this, because you want it to be balanced flavor-wise. So if you have a little too much of something or the other, it's going to throw the drink off.
I like that.
Yeah.
So mine will be thrown off, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can actually won't because you're the expert.
You can compensate by adding a little bit more vermouth.
Oh, there we go. There we
Okay.
go.
And then it's 1 ounce of vermouth.
Okay.
So 2 to 1. So right like that is my 1 ounce mark. The way a lot of people make the Manhattan now is they'll use bourbon instead of rye because, I don't know, the sound of the word rye scares people, or they just don't have it on the shelf or whatever.
Okay. Or if this is so limited, you can't always get the
It's
best,
limited.
right?
Yeah, there are other ryes. There's Wild Turkey. There's Old Overholt, which is great. There's Bullet, which is awesome. And then a lot of people also now, if they do make a Manhattan, they're going to dial down the vermouth to just like a tiny splash. People are afraid of vermouth. It's too European for them. I don't know what the deal is, but there's something going on there. And and if it has to be stirred.
Right.
If you see somebody shaking a Manhattan,
Shake them?
Shake them. You actually, I think you're allowed to cut them.
Oh. So
2 dashes of that, so it's kind of a push in there,
okay.
you know? 1, 2. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Oh.
Okay.
Feeling
That's
pretty
it.
legit about this.
You should. Now we're gonna load it up with ice. So I kind of lower the ice down in there so it doesn't splash around too much.
Okay.
So you want to keep.
This is like a fine art here.
It is a fine art.
Oh, nice splash.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I'm a noob.
And once it gets in there, like that, especially with a pint glass, there's really only 1 or 2 cubes actually in contact with the drink.
Yeah.
So I always grab a couple more and crack them.
Okay.
You have your Lewis bag there.
Yeah.
So grab a couple ice cubes and toss them in there.
And then club them or what?
Yeah, you just give them 1 smack with the club. Yep.
1 more for good measure.
You now have cracked ice.
Yeah.
So if you toss that in there now, you get a lot more ice coming into contact with the drink, and it's going to get nice and cold. There you go.
Get it all in there.
Yeah.
Handy little bag.
1 or 2 more on top, just for
good measure.
Just for good measure. Yep. And stick it in, stir. You just kind of work it around, just like that. The reason why you stir instead of shaking this drink is because it doesn't have any citrus in it. It doesn't have any dairy in it. It doesn't have any eggs in it. So it doesn't need to be shaken. And if you were to shake this drink, it would get foamy.
Oh.
You'd have like this pond scum floating on top.
Now, is that because of which element causes it to foam like that?
The vermouth? Yeah. And generally, any drinks that are spirits only, like a martini, you stir them. You don't shake them.
Okay. And then, why is a Manhattan such a popular drink?
Because it's delicious is the only reason I can think of. It's
Okay.
it's just a perfect drink.
I don't know if someone made it famous somehow, certain individual
No,
ordered
not really.
it, liked it.
It came out like 1870, 1880 out of New York, which is there was a huge boom in cocktails back then. And it's one of the few that's survived and is an enduring classic. 2 strainers. So you get the Hawthorne strainer on top, like that.
This is a Hawthorne strainer?
Hawthorne strainer, and you kind of hold it like this with your finger on top to clamp it.
Okay.
And then this one is going to catch any little bits of ice that sneak through.
Okay.
So just strain it right on in.
And I had it like halfway. That's all right. But that's all right. I don't think.
All right. And then we'll grab cherry. Some people like a lemon garnishing, they like a little bit of lemon peel, but Cherry is, I think, the old school traditional way. Just stab one of those guys, get it on in there. And that, sir, is your Manhattan.
All right, cheers.
Cheers to you.
That is. No wonder it's such a popular drink. It's very good. I feel like I'm a legit drinker now. Now I feel like I have class.